This is the press conference for Game 6 of the 2024 NCAA Division III Baseball Championships between Lynchburg and Misericordia. Lynchburg wins 6-2. We're joined by Lynchburg head coach Travis Beasley and student athletes Quinn Madden, Gavin Collins, and Nick Matfield. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach and then open it up for questions.
Yeah, another tough game. We knew it was going to be a tough matchup with that young man on the mound. Again, incredibly talented player, hitter and pitcher. He had a great mix going early with that breaking ball. Did a great job mixing in the fastball. But again, I thought Coach Garcia and our hitters had a good plan, competitive, working hard to get on base, trying to stay aggressive, move guys up. And we were able to capitalize on some situations. Big third inning, and then beyond that, we're just honestly playing for one run an inning, and if we can get more, then great. But how Nick was pitching again, another great start. It's got an old hat with these guys at this point. Like we've seen it so many times, especially at this level. Like I mentioned yesterday, it's one good outing building on another, and I'm sure Nick took a lot of confidence away from what Wes did yesterday, and probably sat there and in his own way thought he could probably do a little bit better. So tip of the cap to Nick, great start. Almost finished it. Eddie almost caught that ball. That would have been pretty cool for another CG, but it was a huge outing. Gave us a great chance, and we're excited to be moving forward and a day off for sure.
And student athletes, if you could please speak up when you answer a question, and media members, if you could announce who you are and where you're from when you ask your first question. Thank you.
Coach Dylan Fodovich, D3Baseball.com. You guys had a lot of success with the bat so far in this tournament, obviously scoring 7 in the first game and now scoring 6 in this. Can you kind of walk me through the process of going into the tournament and what your mentality was with helping out with the bats?
Yeah, I think our offense, quite frankly, is sometimes underestimated. I mean, there's times this year, where our offense carried us. Our regular season record, obviously not as good as last year. But I think just given what we've done in the postseason the last 2 years, everybody thinks pitching and defense with us. But our offense is pretty good. And they showed it the last 2 games. Not a lot of flash, but just a lot of confidence, competitive ABs, and then just trying to inflict a little bit of pressure. And again, today I thought it was just a good plan. We knew it was going to be tough. That young man is a great pitcher, great baseball player. And there was some tough ABs early. We were just able to crack them and just kind of put a little bit of pressure on. Credit to the guys.
And then Quinn also too, huge third inning, like we said before, and you were the one that knocked in 2 runs there. So walk me through your approach that kind of changed from the first inning into that inning as well, and helped you lead to that.
So that guy's entire first time through the lineup, he was really relying heavily on that off speed. So as Coach Beasley came in and said, he's like, hey, there's going to be some point in time when we need to start sitting off speed. And so I kind of internalized that, assumed that he got me out the off speed the first time around, that I was going to get a first pitch, and I got a first pitch and was ready for it.
Pat Coleman, D3Baseball.com. But so did you just want to call Coach Beasley the Bees for the team that's named the Hornets? Is that right?
Well, I'm not sure I'm supposed to share this, but he hates being called Coach, so we call him Bees.
All right. Appreciate that. Thank you. For Nick, you came off the field looking dejected, looking down. For a guy who, entered the 9th with a 3-hit shutout, right? I know you really wanted to finish that game. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's exactly like you said. I just really wanted to finish that game. I mean, I wasn't upset with how I pitched. It's just that 1 out away and being so close, it really, stunk. I couldn't finish it.
What was working for you today?
I think all my pitches, like my fastball, my slider, my curveball, I had really good command of them, especially early on in the counts. I was able to get ahead with them, and I think I was able to keep them off balance with each one.
This is Jim Dixon with D3Baseball.com. Gavin, you're part of a pretty good infield. Talk about the pride that the Hornets take in your infield play, particularly.
We've known for the last 2 years that we're pretty strong defensively. We take a lot of reps, and we trust each other just every single day to roll a double plays, to go make the plays that not a lot of other teams can make. So just walking around with that swagger and that confidence just helps us out a lot.
Nick, what's it like to have that? Obviously, pitching in front of that, having that behind you is a big deal.
It definitely makes it a lot easier. Knowing that guys behind me are going to make plays for me, just takes a little off my shoulders.
questions?
Or what do you guys do with your day off?
We're gonna enjoy it. I definitely want to give a shout out to our supporters today, man. It was, we had a great crowd last year at Cedar Rapids, a little bit closer to home today. You feel it, you definitely feel it. And I think it's a huge advantage for us, not only to have our entire roster here, we're incredibly fortunate to have that, and the guys bring in the energy in the stands. And I think we got a little shout out last year for that, some articles, and but also parents, alums, former players. Avery Neves, who had a monster year, the College of Charleston this year, was in the stands, and that's a pretty cool thing. So definitely want to just thank everybody that was here, and thank everybody that wasn't here but's following us back home. It's a huge advantage for our players, and our players feel it. They feel that energy, and I think they try to, elevate their level to match that energy that's in the stands. So definitely want to thank everybody for coming out.
All right, thank you. This concludes Lynchburg's press conference.